Howdy friends! It's been about 6 months since World of Warcraft Classic was announced to us. We know it's coming, but we don't know what the state of the game is going to be. That's left me wondering, well, how many players are going to be allowed in the server at one time? So I want to start off with discussing what game phasing is and what it means for server population. Game phasing is something developers put in a game to make certain areas look different for one character than they do for maybe another. This can take place when a player completes a certain quest or reaches a certain level. They can be phased to see the game differently than other players, sometimes in a way that separates them from players not in the same phase. As some of y'all probably know, with the exceptions of dungeons and raids, Classic virtually had no phasing at all in its open world, while current WoW has nearly constant phasing. The reason this matters is because, in retail WoW, server population isn't as significant, because players from different servers can be phased in and out of a region, making the server population very fluid. Now contrast that to Classic WoW, and you'll find that Classic had a very static population, with characters being kept in a single phase of the main world, meaning whatever you saw on your character is what everyone else was seeing. Now I personally prefer this method. Few things kill the immersion of a game more than an algorithm that prevents players from seeing the same environment as one another. There's a lack of unity when everyone is not experiencing the same thing. But not having phasing has one drawback, because a server can actually have too many or too few players in it. And without phasing, a server could actually reach a maximum player count, which prevents any further players from joining in and resulting in the famous login queue. Some of you might remember back in the early days of WoW having to actually wait in order to get in the game if it was on, say, a busy Friday night. Now fast forward to today, and many private servers are still facing this problem, but they choose to mitigate it by increasing a server's population cap, allowing more people to be in the game at any given time. And during the peak of Nostarius, the server was allowing over 13,000 players to be in the game at a single time. I've pulled up some numbers regarding the player population cap that the original World of Warcraft servers had, and while I couldn't find any definite numbers, it seemed to be around 2,500 to 3,500, drastically less than most private servers choose to allow. And that begs the question, should Blizzard raise the server cap in order to allow more players to play? Now before you rush to the comments to remind me no changes, please understand, we at Classic Azeroth are not advocating this. In fact, we hope to see the original vanilla experience recreated, and that means in terms of population caps as well, but I think this is at least a topic we should be willing to discuss as a community. And, big surprise here, Blizzard probably doesn't watch my videos anyway, so what harm does it do to at least talk about this? It's important to remember that World of Warcraft was developed back in 2003 and 2004, a period when internet was not quite as friendly as it is today, and it's possible that Blizzard only set its server population cap to what it was because they wanted computers at the time to be able to handle it, since more players meant more load on a PC and a server. Nowadays, the phone in my pocket could probably run vanilla WoW, so if servers can handle more players, would it improve the game to raise the cap? Obviously, I'm not talking about 13,000 people online. I played Nostarius, and I remember the struggle of waiting for mobs to respawn so that you could tag them and finally complete your quest. That's not vanilla, but a population cap of 5,000 to 8,000 would have benefits, especially considering the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of players that are going to be taking to Classic upon release. There will be massive queues to get in, no matter how many servers Blizzard dedicates, but these queues can be lessened if more players are given access to a single server at a time. On the flip side, increasing the server population cap can reduce the feeling of community among players, because players are less accountable to what they do if their name is just one of tens of thousands, and increasing the cap would actually mean incorporating changes to the game, something that has me hesitant. But what are your thoughts? Feel free to leave a comment and tell us what you think. We make these videos because we love the discussion of Classic WoW and want to hear from the community. Also, if you find the wait for Classic to be difficult, join us on Facebook where we post content to make the wait for WoW that much easier. And other than that, I thank you for your time.